channel. I'm super excited that you guys have decided to come visit my channel yet again. So for those of you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Erica Berry Cherry, and on my channel I teach you how to find the inner teacherpreneur that you can be. Actually, the very best teacherpreneur that you can be. So that's what my content is about. So I'm super excited that you guys are here to check out today's video. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to talk to you about my journey on how I became an organization, from hiring teachers to advertising classes to Facebook ads to every single thing that I have done to become an organization, or to keep my organization going on with Outschool. So I went through the hiring process, interview process. I went through trying to find how to pay my workers and fail. So I'm going to take you guys on that journey with me, and I hope you guys are super excited and just stick around. In May, I think it was May. Yeah, back in May, I shared with you guys that I went through the process of becoming an organization. I shared with you guys the different steps on how you can become an organization as well. That video is right here for you. Be sure to check it out because it's sure to help you through the hiring process. So I became an organization back in May, and I did begin with a very slow start, even though it felt like that I was just overwhelmed with the whole process of having to speak with a lawyer, having to hire a lawyer, having to figure out the people that I want to work for me, and trying to figure out what direction I wanted my organization to go through. I had to figure out what brand that was going to be, because I was taking my own brand from Outschool and just rebranding that from being an individual teacher to becoming an organization where I'm having multiple teachers teach under my profile. So I really had to consider which direction I wanted to go, and once I narrowed down the direction that I wanted to go on Outschool, I began to venture out and begin reaching out to other teachers, or I began advertising for other teachers. And so I was very skeptical at first, but I did use Indeed.com, and they helped me narrow down to 44 different teachers, even though that was just a lot for me. They did help me narrow down to 44 different teachers, which I'm very grateful for. I did have my younger sister help me go through the application, do phone call interviews, do Zoom interviews, and we did narrow down to one person that we absolutely like to be the very first hire on. But for whatever reason, she accepted, but that didn't go through because she just never answered my phone calls anymore. She never responded back to my emails. So that was just overwhelming to me. So I just decided not to go with her. And then this is like during Memorial Day weekend, so I just decided just not to reach out to her anymore. I sent her an email that I wish her well. I hope that she's doing okay, and that we won't be moving forward anymore, because it's just, it's my business, and I was ready to get on a roll with it. So so I took a break. To me, I felt that was a sign for me not to hire anyone and for me to go back to the drawing board. So I kept the brand that I wanted, and what I began to do was I actually created contracts. I went through rocketlawyer.com, and I also had the help of my husband, who also is an attorney, and a few of his attorney friends. They helped me create a contract, but I primarily did it through rocket.com. So you can do a trial with them, which is only $1 for 5 days, or I think $5 for 5 days, I don't remember. And then you can upgrade it to a premium membership. That way you can have all the access to different parts of whatever you need a lawyer for. So I use it for my contract, which was independent contractors. I also use it for business contract, and I do have the premium account, and that was $39.99 a month. And so what they do is that you do a questionnaire, you answer it, and they do all the contract for you, and they do everything for you. That really helped me. And then after I had my contract, which it only takes you literally 2 minutes to create your contract with them, and and you can send an email to a lawyer if you have any questions. They'll answer your questions for you. They'll answer like literally less than 24 hours because they actually have actual lawyers working for them. Then after that, I reached out to my sister and her friend to see if they wanted to work for my company, and they've both said yes. And I thought that was easier for me to use my sister because she was like my trial and error teacher, and oh boy. Oh boy, we had so much trial and error as far as like scheduling, because on the Outschool platform, it's pretty hard to schedule your teachers because you don't see them all on one page unless you go to the teacher page, but then that's just a whole nother story. And I do believe that Outschool is doing what they can, and they're working on changing that. But we had lots of trial and error where she was double booked or she was double scheduled. I was double booked, I was double scheduled. I had to create lessons for her, and it was just yada yada yada. But we're getting through it. So fast forward to that, I am very thankful that she was my trial and error teacher. Super frustrating, exciting, and it was just a teachable moment for me. It was a teachable moment for her. It was just a teachable moment for all of us. So fast forward to where we are now. I now have 2 teachers that have decided to come on as independent contractors outside of my sister and her girlfriend. So that makes a total of 5 teachers. Everyone has gotten their contract, including my sister, her girlfriend, and the 2 new teachers. I made sure to give everyone a contract because it's very important, whether they're family or not, is you just have got to give them a contract, because you don't want to mix business and pleasure together or business and family together. So everyone just received the contract. It was just to save me, to save everyone. So everyone just got a contract, and the lawyer that I contacted through rocketlawyer.com also said that it's better for me to give my sister a contract, so that way it can save me and it can save her. So that is something that I've done. So being an organization, I schedule my teachers' classes. They go through the background check that take about a week and a half. We sit down on a Zoom session because everyone is in different parts of the country. So we sit in a Zoom session, we do training together, we go through the Outschool platform together, especially if they're new, because they do have to go through the training that Outschool offers, and they have to verify their account. You can't work for Outschool. Nobody can work for your organization unless they have passed the background check and they've done the verification. That is very important because I don't think many people understand they have to tell their employer, no, they have to tell their employee that they have to go through a background check and a verification. So I do think that's what happened. That was my downfall with the very first person that I wanted. I think that she felt like she couldn't pass the background check for whatever reason, but she just didn't tell me that. But I did ask her if she could pass the background check. But when it came to doing background information, I just never heard back from her. Or maybe something happened to her. I hope not. Yeah, I hope not. Anywho, so my teachers were meeting each other, we're getting to know each other, we're throwing out ideas for classes, because some of our classes are just very slow because of in-person summer camp, and now we're starting to see a rise, being that Australia is shutting down, California is mandating some of the things, the UK seems to be shutting down. So we're seeing a lot of our students in that region. So we're shifting our class times, and we're also shifting our class focus as a whole. I'm not uploading any new classes. All I'm doing is just revamping the classes that I have to make it more appealing to students that are in that area. Before I got the 2 teachers that I absolutely love, I probably did maybe 6 or 7 interviews. With the last 2 teachers that I interviewed, I absolutely love them. One teacher worked for Outschool. So you can hire somebody to work for your organization that does work for Outschool. Okay, so in order to get your teacher started on Outschool, which was going to happen is that they give you they give you their email and you put it into your admin office area where it's teachers, and then you put their name and then you put their email, and then it hits okay or send, and Outschool will send them a link. And I believe they have up to 5 days to accept the invitation to work for your organization, and then Outschool will send them another link for the background check, and they would have to do the background check, and they do the training that's on the Outschool, and then they get verified. Background check takes about 2 to 7 business days. For my sister, it took her a week. For her girlfriend, it took her about 2 weeks. For my last 2 teachers, we're still waiting on their background checks. And for myself, it also took a week and a half because I did have to create another Outschool profile. So what's happening is that every teacher will get their own profile with Outschool, their own class, whatever. They will all get their own account. Everyone will get their own account. So if you are hiring somebody, and not hire 3 people that's with Outschool. So if you're hiring someone that's with Outschool, they cannot use the email that they use for their own classes. They would have to send you a completely different email so that way they can use that email to teach with Outschool underneath your profile. That is very, very important because I've had this one girl, she had to create maybe 3 or 4 different emails. Because her first 2 emails was already associated with Outschool. Their email cannot be associated with Outschool in order to be in your organization. They would have to create a whole new one, but they can teach for your organization, and they can also teach their own profile. That's just however you decide to put it within your own contract. Maybe like a conflict of interest or something like that. You just have to be sure to put that into your contract, because that's something that I've done for my teachers, and just to ensure that they're not teaching the same classes that I'm teaching, because I don't want to compete with anybody on Outschool. I mean, I'm competing with hundreds of thousands of other teachers, so I don't want to compete with my own teacher that I just hired. So Hope told me to do that, so that was just something that I strongly wanted to do. But then hiring a teacher that already works for Outschool or that's just familiar with Zoom helps eliminate you having to go through a full training session, so that way they can get a quicker startup. So for me, I personally like the whole collaborative plan that I'm able to do with my teachers. I like the whole ideas that they're bringing, because we do have 2 teachers that's teaching foreign language. We have teachers that's teaching 2-hour summer camps, and it just seems to be working out that everyone is just doing an awesome job collaborative planning. I have had a few hiccups because I'm still trying to figure out what site I actually want to use to pay my teachers. There's PayPal, there's Gusto, which I heard was really, really good. QuickBook, I also heard that was another good one. So it's just, you just have to do your research, and that is something that that I did but didn't do, because I guess I expected a lot of the things to already be done. Like, there are some other organizations that I've decided to not work with because I chose Outschool over them, where they would pay the teachers for you, so you didn't have to go ahead and use a secondary site to pay the teachers, because so the way it goes is that Outschool pays me, and I have to find a secondary source or a secondary website to pay my teachers, which is not a problem. I just wish it was a little bit different, but I do think Outschool is leaning more towards doing it that way, because there's been several meetings about organizations and how Outschool can be better for the admin, because you are able to hire an admin. So I do think that Outschool is trying to figure a way to make the organization aspect of Outschool a whole lot better. So there's groups that has been very, very helpful. There's Facebook groups that you can join if you want to work for an Outschool. If you want to work for an Outschool organization, there's people that's always hiring. And I will be happy to point you in that direction. I'm in all of the Facebook groups, you name it, I'm there. So I just have to find a way to pay, because I don't like using PayPal because they do charge me a bit to pay my teachers, so I don't like that. And then I've done Chase to Chase, just like for my sister, not for everybody, but just for my sister, just to see how that goes. I don't want to do that neither. So I've had to create a business account. I had to create a business account for my organization, so that way Outschool is paying my organization, and my organization is linked to my secondary site, and then my secondary site is paying for my teacher. So I use PayPal right now, but I'm gonna lean more towards using Gusto, because I've heard that I'm able to keep track of how many hours my teachers work, which Outschool does not do that. Wait, no, they do. At first, when I started, they didn't do that. They probably recently like upgraded that maybe like 2 weeks ago, and that's still a bit hard because it only goes back to like 60 to 30 days. But then if we're like on like, if we're like, it doesn't go to the beginning of the month or the end of the month, like beginning to the end of the month, which is, I personally don't like that. I only want to see the month that my teachers are working, because it'll be easier for me to log it in. And it's just like, so me, I am a teacher, I'm running my business, and I'm an admin, and that can be a little bit overwhelming, especially like having a little one. I have a 1-year-old and I have a 9-year-old, and thank God for my 9-year-old, because she helps me out a lot. It's just like there was just a lot of things I did not know that would take place with becoming an organization and running an organization. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm surprised that I'm still surviving this because it's been a lot of heartaches, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears. Like, it's been tears where people would schedule an interview and me being away from my baby or away from my children, and I'm just sitting in a Zoom session alone. That was just like so frustrating. Or it was just like not hearing back from people, waiting for people to respond back to my emails, and unexpected costing with Indeed.com. Oh my gosh, it was just, but I'm still afloat. It's just like becoming an organization. Me personally, I always suggest to people, if you want to become an organization, make sure that you find someone that's going to help you. Because me, as you guys know from my last video, which is right here, I started out with no type of help until I reached out to Hope, and I think I reached out to someone else. Her name is Amani. I reached out to those two ladies, and they helped me out so much, and it's just like, I'm very grateful for that. And if you want help to become an organization on Outschool, please reach out to me, reach out to one of the girls. There's so many people that's willing to help you just for free. And I just want to be able to help anyone. If you want to become as an individual teacher, if you want to become an Outschool teacher, I really want to help you achieve your dream and be successful with this, because it can be a lot and it can be very discouraging. Because at the beginning of the summer, I was just so discouraged. I was like, I can't believe I'm in organization and enrollment is down. And then I just realized that my classes just was not open. So when I tell you guys that it's just been a whole lot for me, where it's just like, I have never been a sticky note person. I've been the type of person where I know everything in my head. I've been having to write things down, check it off, write it down, check it off. And then because it's so demanding, like to run an organization, I'm now having to hire a babysitter to come in our home because I don't want to send a baby to daycare. I'm also a homeschool mom, so it's just like, it's a lot. And I have considered hiring an admin, because that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people hire admins to run their company or run the back office and to do the pay and stuff. But me, I haven't done that just yet, because I'm not there yet. I'm not ready to just let go, because I'm the type of person, I want to oversee everything. Okay, so now I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to babble now. And I'm just talking to you guys. And I think the thunder agrees with me. Okay guys, so that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for sticking around and watching my video that turned into me babbling about not wanting to send my baby to daycare or send my child to school next year. Thank you for sticking around for that. I really do appreciate that. So guys, if you haven't already checked out my other videos, please be sure to check them out. And if you actually like today's video, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every single time I upload a video. Thank you guys. See you next time.